Hey y'all, today I'm just going to show you how I did this watercolor painting with a print of a female skull on top. I actually saw the inspiration for the image online, but the image was only black and white, and then so in my room is mainly like gray and white and that kind of color scheme, so I decided to do a watercolor background. And the biggest tip that I can give you when you do watercolor is to use a lot of water. I will put so much water on a canvas, and I hate using paper because it balls up, so I always do watercolor on canvas, and that's what I'm using here today, a 11 by 18 canvas. And I use just a tapping method. I'll slip my brush, I'll put a layer of water down, just water, onto the canvas first. And a lot of times on big shows and stuff, they'll want you to use like something to prime your canvas first or whatever, but I've always just used water. You just put a lot of water down, and that way when you add your color, it'll seep across the canvas, and it provides that the watercolor texture that looks really good. And you'll see that in prints and images all online, and yeah. And that's how you can accomplish it at home. You also want to pick colors that will go well together side by side. So like I let the blue and pink dry a little bit before I added that yellow, because if they merge together at the water runs, it's not going to be very pretty. And like sometimes your colors will all run together and you'll end up with like a brown. Watercoloring is one of my favorite mediums. It's just so freeform. The canvas basically paints itself because you're just dabbing. The biggest trick is to not use your brush as like a paintbrush as you would if you're painting like acrylic or oil or anything. But with watercolor, you're kind of just using it as like a foam stick. Like you could probably use, if it wouldn't soak up the paint, you could probably use something like that. Because I use my fingers sometimes, because you'll just dabbing, and then you add more water to it, and it will seep across the page by itself and create that watercolor texture, as I was talking about earlier. Another tip I was going to give you, if you put too much water down and like your colors are running together and you're freaking out, just take a paper towel, or I use a sock sometimes. I use my clothes all the time. I have paint all over me, but you can use them to dab away some of the water, and then it'll just leave most of your paint behind, and then you'll prevent it from like smearing all over the page. And then I love the look of a messy watercolor, so here you can just see me, I'm loading my brush up with paint and just flicking it across the page to provide some splatter. That orange was annoying me. I kept going back to it. And the yellow too. You have to build yellow up because on the first layer it's not very vibrant. And I have no idea what kind of watercolors I'm using, guys. It was just a set. I probably got it from Walmart. And here I'm beginning my sketch. Always start out with a pencil. You don't want to go right into a Sharpie because then you'll mess up. And then you won't have a way to fix it, unless you want to paint the whole canvas white again. But yeah, I'm just starting out my sketch. Schools are so fun to draw because they have so much like pockets and the like breaking and the button and stuff. It's probably one of my favorite things to illustrate because they're just so much fun. And I'll leave this reference picture in the description box below if anybody would like to see it. And what I like to do when I'm using a pencil is, most people will like freak out and they'll like try to erase everything when they mess up, when they know that that line shouldn't be there. But me, I'll just like make a new line and darken it, and I'll erase what I don't use later. Because like right there, what I did with the chin, I just corrected my mess up and just left it. And I will remember which one's right and fix it when I go over it with Sharpie. Now I'm starting with the Sharpie, and the trick with like doing something like this is you want to do all your highlights first, and that's what I'm doing. So I started with like leaving just a little strip of white, or watercolor in this case, underneath, and then go around that. That way, if you try to start from the outside in, you'll lose your highlight. So if you start from the highlight and go outwards, it's easier to do so that you don't lose that line of detail. And I'm just swapping out between a fine point Sharpie and the thicker one. And there I'm starting on the hair, and the trick to hair is using sections. So mark off a section, like I'm doing, like I separated them out, and then I'll start at one end and darken that and draw the lines upward, and then you'll start on the other side, like that, like I'm doing there, and try to meet the ones in the middle, just very lightly, but darker on each end, and that'll give you a realistic hair effect. I absolutely love doing things like this, especially like this curve that I'm working on here, where the hair falls over on the other side of the face. Hair is a lot of fun, but it can be very tricky. You just have to play with it and practice. I actually didn't like the way I did like this side of the hair, because I didn't use as many sections, and so it doesn't exactly look like that top part does. But it's okay, I think it still looks good. It's good enough not to bother me. If y'all have any tips or anything else you'd like to see me draw, please leave those in the comments below. I love taking ideas and drawing for people. It's so much fun. It really puts you out of your comfort zone. I actually made this piece for my walls in my room because, like I said, my room I had just painted, and so it's very gray and white and dull. And so I'm planning on doing a little gallery with some artwork. And there on the ends, I'm just kind of spilling over the hair, like a messy hair would actually be. Like some of the strands poke out and, you know, fold over and stuff. And here I'm really just finishing up touches. I'm going back and adding pieces of hair where I want them, and I signed the initials there. And there I'm erasing my pencil marks, like I said earlier. And just fixing a few things. And there it is. That's the final piece, guys. I hope you liked it. Please share and subscribe and like this video. And I hope y'all have a good day. Bye!